on the other wall with more on the NFC North.
All right, well, look, this could be the league's best division right now, the NFC North. Detroit's on top after the Packers lost to the Eagles, obviously, on Thursday night. I know, isn't that weird? The Vikings and Bears both trying to keep up and improve to 3-1. The rivals meet Sunday at Soldier Field. But first, let's go out to Tom Pelissero in Eagan, Minnesota, with the keys for the Vikings.
It's only week 4, but Vikings players say this is absolutely a pivotal game coming up on Sunday at Chicago. For the Vikings offense, tight end Kyle Rudolph told me that Coach Mike Zimmer has been preaching this week it's going to be hard to get Dalvin Cook in the running game going against Khalil Mack and a stout Bears defense. There's going to be 1-yard runs, 0-yard runs, -yard runs, Rudolph said. It's all about staying in position to keep running the football. Get those attempts, which means not falling behind the chains or on the scoreboard. For the Vikings defense, linebacker Eric Kendricks told me this is a gimmick offense that Chicago runs. You get a lot of motions, a lot of shifts. No matter who is on the field, you got to cancel all that out and focus on the big picture. They will have Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr back in action. Vikings practice this week with crowd noise. They work the silent count, anticipating a raucous atmosphere at Soldier Field.
Thank you, Tom. This game is such a hard one to pick between these two teams. And
yes,
we just heard Tom talking about Dalvin Cook in the beginning of his segment there. But, Mike Robb, do you think that he will have success against this Bears defense? We just watched what they were able to do against the Redskins on Monday.
Yeah.
They were all over them.
Well, the Redskins are a little different from the Chicago Bears. Just a little bit different. But if the Minnesota Vikings want to win, they have to lean on Dalvin Cook. He's the NFL's leading rusher, 375 yards, all of those things. But he just has lanes that are like as big as this monitor to run through. This offensive line has been balling. Look at how they get to the second level. Look at the apex of the push. Rookie center Garrett Bradbury is leading this group. And just look at the lanes that the running backs have to run through. It's very easy to play running back of the Minnesota Vikings right now. Look at the push and look at the combinations, how the double teams actually get off to the second level so that the running back has clean lanes to get through. And I think Dalvin Cook right now, through 4 weeks, he is the NFL's comeback player of the year. I don't even think it's comeback, right? Because he played last year, but it's like he didn't play because they didn't even really run the football.
This is what we're finally seeing what we saw his rookie season when he came in before he got hurt. He flashed just popped off the screen, and now we're finally seeing that put together.
I think he's better than what we saw his rookie season. I mean, every time he gets the football, it seems like he's the fastest and most explosive guy on the football field. I got a couple numbers for you. Dalvin Cook versus stacked boxes. 15 rushes, 132 yards. Stacked boxes, 8 or 9 men around the line of scrimmage to stop the run. And this guy is averaging 8.8 yards per carry. Almost a first down every single time he gets the ball, and the defensive coordinator is putting extra guys there to stop him. Like, that's demoralizing for a defense. So if the Minnesota Vikings can just lean on Dalvin Cook and use Kirk Cousins whenever they need to, don't make him the show of this offense, I'm telling you, the Minnesota Vikings will get them a win tomorrow.
Well, that's exactly what they need to do, because look, when you watch Kirk Cousins, especially against the Bears, like, just look at the games last year. It seems like he's playing scared against Khalil Mack. Like, he is running away from him.
There's a lot of people scared.
5 passing yards per attempt, though. 5 passing yards per attempt.
Is that for real?
Games against the Bears. I know, isn't that crazy? So he has the fear of Khalil Mack in him. It's like, so when I was little, my best friend lived like 5 houses away from me. And when I would leave Talia's house at night, I would sprint home, because one night when I was leaving, I thought I heard footsteps behind me, and it put the fear of God in me. So every single time I would sprint home, and I feel like that's how Kirk Cousins plays when they are
sprints out of the pocket.
He's like, uh-oh, no, I gotta get the ball. I don't know what happens, but like, I know Khalil Mack is coming.
Khalil Mack is a bad man, though. I'm telling you, he's a bad man. So
we'll see. This game obviously is going to be the story of the two defenses, though. We know that Dalvin Cook here, he struggled against the Bears in his career. In 2 games, he's averaging just 35 scrimmage yards and 2.6 yards per carry.
That's not good.
No. Compare that to his numbers against the rest of the league, though. 10 touchdowns in 16 games and nearly 110 total yards per game. So I would be interested to see what 2 games he played against the Bears and where that fell in terms of like his injury and stuff.
Research.